So let's take a look at your numbers from your balance. The black mat I'm standing on is identical to the black mat that I showed you earlier. It's the same black mat. If you've purchased one online, we've simply laid it over, and you can tell that my toes look very much on the same line here. If I pull my, you see my center of force is pretty equal here. If I pull my left foot back 1 inch, you can literally on the screen see it. Not only that, you can see that my path here, because my hips are now open, my path is going to be outside in with a putter, and that'll be the final path in the full swing. So alignment will change. Your hip line, as you're going to learn, is a good 70% of your setup. And you'll understand why when we get through this demonstration. Your points of balance. Your points of balance, if you have gotten your points of balance, you have either 4 or 5 points marked that you've been given. Ideally, you've marked them on a yardstick or on some stick of some kind where you'll be able to check your balance. What this is going to give you is body awareness. Now, when I put this yardstick down and I put it to the middle of each foot so that I'm on one of my balance points, now you can see how well balanced I am just standing here. When I add my knee flex, my hips stay square, and you can see my balance points, pretty much a straight line between the green and the red block. If I step out of balance to a point that is not marked, and I add my knee flex, my hips rotate left, and you can see how that my weight goes into my left heel. The green box stays pretty even in the center, but the red box goes well toward my heel, and again, that's an open hip line or an outside path. By the way, when you do this, we're all different. I'm back in balance now. When I'm in balance, we'll all be the same. When you are in balance, your knee flex will be the same on both sides when you're in balance. When you're out of balance, either your left knee will increase or your right knee will increase in flex. It's the change in the orientation of your knee flex that opens and closes your hip line. Now, if you watch me here, you look at me straight on, and I add my knee flex is the same. The bar on my hip stays square, and when you look at the center of force on the screen, you'll see that they are just about identical, and they'll stay there. Now, when I move out to an out of balance point, you'll notice that my right knee flex increases over my left. And as my right knee flex increases over my left, my hips open. If I move further out to my next point of balance, you'll see that, and this is one of my points, by the way, where my hands line up. My cards line up, as you saw earlier. My arms hang, they hang the same on both sides. And you'll see how well those that center of force lines up on both sides as well. Again, I have about a 2-inch span here between the next 2 points of balance. I step to an out of balance point, and as I step to that point, you can start to see on the screen before I even add knee flex that my weight is moving toward my left heel, and my right heel, right side is staying pretty similar. And now you can see that the bar, the center of force on the left side goes pretty far back to the left. My right knee flex increased again. Interestingly, when this happens, if you look at PSI as this happens, you'll notice that on the right side I have a much greater PSI than I do on the left. A much greater PSI than I do on the left. If I go back into balance, and here I am back in balance, and I have flex to the increased flex on the left side, you'll notice that the PSI goes dramatically higher for me. I'm at 27, 26, 27 PSI on the left and 17 on the right. What this means is that my weight is loaded more left when I'm out of balance, and many players have this, which means now I'm going to have to move laterally to get back to my right side. So if in your out of balance positions your hips close, your left knee flex increases on the left side, your weight will load more left, and now you're going to have to move laterally. So rather than trying to stay over the ball, look at balance. Look at your setup if your weight is predominantly or more on the left side. If you are moving laterally, there's a good probability that it's simply a balance issue.